It's time to dive into the best Spectrum games of all time. While some might remember the ZX Spectrum as the console with charming retro graphics, it holds a special place in gaming history, and in my heart. As the first home console I played during my childhood, the Spectrum laid the groundwork for much of what we love in gaming today. In this video we are counting down the 15 best ZX Spectrum games, based on research and my personal experience. So without further ado, let's kick things off with number 15. We start with School Days. May not have the same modern appeal as Bully, one of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time, but it's recognized as one of the first and most pioneering titles in the sandbox genre. Unlike my own School Days follows Eric, a schoolboy on a mission to retrieve his report card from right under the head teacher's nose. While the game may seem simple by today's standards, the innovative ideas and challenge gameplay remain impressive even now. It's one of those timeless games that you will find yourself revisiting again and again. Formula 1. The first Formula 1 game that truly hooked me, where I spent countless hours immersing, was this one. It puts you in the role of a Formula 1 team manager, allowing you to take control of your favorite teams starting from the 1985 season. As the manager, you are responsible for every crucial decision, choosing drivers, securing sponsors, managing budget, improving chassis and engines, selecting tires, and much more over the course of 16 thrilling races, making it a challenge and engaging experience for everyone. In the number 13 we have Bubble Bobble. This is one of the games I played the most on Spectrum with my oldest friend, who sadly is no longer with us. Bubble Bobble is an absolute classic in the world of arcade platform games. While it technically has a plot, it's not the focus. Just trap your enemies in bubbles and then burst them. Avoid the bad guys and repeat this for 100 challenge levels. I vividly remember the times my friend and managed to conquer all 100 levels together. So there were also those heartbreaking moments when we die at level 98 or 99. We are so frustrated back then, but those memories are priceless. Now let's jump for Green Beret. The game was well received, earning an impressive 88% in Crash magazine. In this classic arcade experience, you take control of a highly trained soldier on a mission to rescue prisoners. What set this game apart was your character icon weapon, the Green Beret knife. You started the game with the usual 3 lives, navigate stage filled with enemy soldier, gun-wielding commandos, character specialists, paratroopers, attack dogs, and fortified positions like mortar emplacements. And as if that wasn't challenging enough, you also had to avoid deadly landing mines. Make no mistake, this game was tough, but it was beatable if you had the grit to stick with it. In number 11 we have Jetpack. Jetpack is actually one of the best looking games on the Spectrum. A true arcade cabin-style title that landed on the consoles back in the 83. Ever heard of the developer Ultima played the game? No? Well, what if I told you they later rebrand as Rare, and Jetpack was their very first game? Now I got your attention, didn't it? In the number 10 we have Daley Thompson's Decathlon. Daley Thompson was a national hero in Britain in 1984. And his athletic achievements were brilliantly captured in Daley Thompson's Decathlon. Inspired by the popular track and field arcade game, this title took the nation by storm. Players had 3 chances to qualify in each event. Success was met with the roar of the crowd, while failure means standing over and try again. The gameplay was intense and highly engaging, making it one of the most memorable sports games on the Spectrum. With a variety of events that test your agility, speed and reflex, the game showcased the versatility of the Spectrum and remains a beloved classic in the world of retro sports game. Now we jump for Matchpoint. The arrival of Wimbledon on TV screen marks the onset of the English summer. Matchpoint brought this grand tennis event right into the gamer's living room, offering a thrilling representation of the sport, selecting the skill level adjustments, the fierceness of your opponent, making each match a unique challenge. As you grow familiar with the controllers, you could add speed, direction, and accuracy to your shot. The ultimate goal? Winning your first game and lifting that trophy in front of virtual reality. Jumping for number 8, Football Manager. Football Manager was a groundbreaking release in the world of football simulators. It challenged players to lead a team from the 1982 Football League to the pinnacle of success, setting the stage for many sports games on the spectrum that followed. In this game, you had to carefully manage your squad's abilities before each match. The highlight of the game was its quirky yet endearing sticky-on vision graphic, a testament to early Spectrum games' technological prowess. Playing Football Manager was a roller coaster ride. Success was sweet, but failure was a harsh teacher. This game remains a classic among retro sports games, offering timeless entertainment for both short and long gaming sessions. Continue in the football genre, we have Match Day 2. My first great experience in football sports games was with Match Day 2. It quickly established itself as one of the best football games on ZX Spectrum. The game reduced the number of players on each team to 7 to ease the strain of the spectrum, creating a balanced and enjoyable gameplay experience. Match Day 2 offered complete control over the ball and realistic rebound effects, making it one of the first football games to achieve such a level of realism. It was an incredible enjoyable game, even for those who were not fans of football. Match Day 2 was a classic game that offered a thrilling football experience. It remains one of the best sports games on Spectrum, showing the console capability to deliver engaging and realistic gameplay. In the number 6 we have Paperboy. Paperboy is a game where you deliver newspaper to your subscribers down easy street, middle road or hard way. The 3 difficulty levels. Every day from Monday to Sunday, you start with a minimap of the street showing where your friendly neighborhood subscribers are, as well as the villainous non-subscribers. However, you will mostly ignore this as subscribers live in the bright house and non-subscribers in dark house. You need to deliver the newspapers by throwing them at the mailbox outside each house, ideally which earns you the most points. If you deliver to all subscribers, you will double your score. At the end of each day, you receive your daily totals and any cancelled subscription, then move on to the next day. In the number 5 we have the Pac-Man. This is one of the most iconic games of the old days. Pac-Man, or Puckman as it was known in Japan, made video games as a mass culture phenomenon. The maze game captured the imagination of millions and became the best-selling arcade video game ever. At the same time, Pac-Man himself became the first iconic ambassador of the video game era. He crossed over into mass culture. The game launched the first massive video game license craze, spurring the scale of home consoles, handheld device, toys, clothing and even housewares. ABC aired an animated television show, and the song Pac-Man Forever and the song Pac-Man Fever surged to the top 10 of Billboard's Hot 100 chart in March 1982. Pac-Man set the stage for later video games icons such as Mario and Sonic. Now we are getting close of the top 3, but before we have the number 4, Outrun. My first car game ever and one of my all-time favorite arcade games is Outrun. Other versions of Outrun, like the one on Commodore 64, ran quite nicely, but were significantly less impressive compared to the Spectrum version. It's a cruel world, a world where you had to settle for a port that, without exceptions, should have been as good as it could have been on its respective machine. Outrun is quite a different story. I guess that audio cassette with music from the Con Op was a slight consolation when the disappointment kicked in the worldwide. Now we are reaching the top 3 games. We start in the number 3 with Back to School. Back to School is an open-world video game and the sequel to School Days. The gameplay is very similar to, albeit more advanced than School Days, incorporating most of the same characters, gameplay elements and graphics. The game differs from its predecessor by expanding the play area, including a neighboring girls' schools and introducing several gameplay changes. The new elements in Back to School including stick bombs used to trigger the opening of windows, water pistols, used to make potato plants grow and spill water onto the teachers, mice that can be released in the girls' school causing widespread panic, and sherry, which can be squirted into cups and used to intoxicate. I really miss having games like this currently, aside from Bully, which was created in 2006. The number 2 we have Target Renegade. Target Renegade is a beaten-up computer game released on Spectrum in the late 80s by Ocean Software. The game is a sequel to Renegade. The player takes control of Mr. K, known as Jack or simply Renegade, and fights through a number of stages with the goal of finding Mr. Big and either avenging their brother's death or rescuing him, depending on the version being played. This was the first game I ever played in 2-player co-op with my cousin. And finally, we reached the number 1 on the top list, and this is my personal taste and experience. This is one of my favorite retro games of all time, and the first game I remember getting addicted to and playing until I fell asleep. I played them both, but the one I was truly addicted was Chucky Egg 2. Chucky Egg 2 is an arcade adventure game developed by AF Soft in 1985. The game featured the protagonist Henhouse Harry, who is tasked with helping a chocolate egg manufacturer fix his automat factory. To do so, Harry must collect ingredients to make the eggs and gather parts for the toys that go inside them. Along the way, he encounters various obstacles and items such as ladders, girders, and keys. Chucky Egg 2 offers 120 screams, surprise, and unique gameplay mechanics where players can move and use objects. I will never forget the dog at the beginning, where I had to pick up the bone to give him so I could move forward. Oh, those were the days. That concludes my list of the top ZX Spectrum games of all time. If you enjoyed this type of video, please comment and let me know. Feel free to suggest any other game you think should be included in the list. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.